get irritated when I see clone snobs and when I see comments like that. If that is your pet peeve regarding perfumes, you're going to have to avoid me. Tell me why a niche fragrance has to cost an arm and a leg. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It is Oma here again, and I am back with another perfume video. So from the title, you can tell that today's video is going to be all about my pet peeves regarding perfumes. So for those that are confused about what pet peeves is all about, basically a pet peeve is something that you find disturbing or you find annoying. So be it an event, an object, or a character, whatever that thing may be, but you just find it annoying or disturbing. So I'm just going to be listing out my pet peeves surrounding perfumes. Let's go. First on the list would definitely be niche fragrances prices. Prices of niche fragrances. Guys, tell me why a niche fragrance has to cost an arm and a leg. Why? I understand that the ingredients rather used in these perfumes are really expensive, but I don't understand why I would have to buy a perfume worth almost ₦1,000,000. I understand that niche fragrances have very expensive ingredients in their perfumes, and it gives that exclusivity to a brand, to a niche brand. But the prices of niche perfumes, guys, it's insane. Okay, my number one pet peeve would definitely be the prices of niche fragrance. Okay, it's ridiculous at this point. It's a lot. I love perfumes and I would always want to expand my knowledge, my scent profile, but the fact that the prices surrounding niche perfumes are literally choking, yeah, it is my number one pet peeve at this point. Okay, come on, let the poor breathe.
Let the poor breathe. Don't suffocate them.
Which brings me to my number two pet peeves concerning perfumes. Clone snubs. I can make a whole video about this particular pet peeve, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
I understand that there are people that are not really happy with the fact that some brands, mostly Middle Eastern brands, tend to clone niche fragrances or luxury designer fragrances. If you've been following my channel for a while, you would know that I review most of these clone fragrances and use most of them because they actually perform really good. So here's the thing, guys. The fact that you can afford a niche fragrance as an individual doesn't mean everybody can afford niche fragrances, and that is why we have clone fragrances. They tend to give people that cannot afford those said fragrances a feel of what they smell like. So if you cannot afford a niche fragrance, there are a lot of clone fragrances out there. Now, there is a whole community that are clone snobs, and they tend to rain on people's parade about using clone fragrances. I don't get it. If you can afford niche fragrances, good for you. Enjoy your niche fragrances. What I find very irritating is people that, because you as an individual can afford a niche fragrance, you tend to start snubbing people that are using clone fragrances. Like, what is the reason? What exactly is the reason?
What was the reason?
I had a reason.
What was the reason? What was the reason?
I just explained the reason.
What was the reason, bitch?
I don't need to explain myself to you. And
What was the reason?
Buy what you can literally afford. It's as simple as that. If you have the money, fine and good, enjoy your niche fragrance. But the fact that you now start snubbing those that cannot afford it is quite frankly ridiculous. And I've seen a number of comments from fragrance communities on YouTube here talking about
why clone fragrances exist, why they should stop doing that, this, that, yada, yada, yada.
I'm like, guys, really? Fine and good. I know some Middle Eastern brands can take it too far as cloning the bottles and the the presentation of those niche fragrances. I understand that that can be really annoying. I understand. But the fact that you would now have to create this community of snobs to those that use clone fragrances is quite frankly ridiculous. Some niche fragrances and designer fragrances also clone themselves. So why are you snubbing people that cannot afford these fragrances? Guys, I get irritated when I see clone snobs and when I see comments like that. Let me know, guys, in the comment section, is it just me or you agree with this particular point? All right, let's move on to the next pet peeve. So my next pet peeve would definitely be inconsistent longevity. Guys, you know me and why I always gravitate towards Middle Eastern perfumes, because most of the time, not all the time, most of the time, their perfumes always perform really, really good. They have amazing longevity. Now, I would rather prefer it if you tell me that the perfume I'm buying is an EDP or an EDT or an eau fresh perfume. Guys, I made a video about ED types of perfumes. If you have not seen that video, I'm going to link it for you to watch. But I mean, buying an EDP perfume and it doesn't last long. Why is it then tagged as an EDP perfume? It is really annoying when I buy an EDP perfume and the performance is just shitty. Tag your perfume right, okay? If it is an EDP, it should perform like an EDP. So inconsistent longevity from perfumes that are supposed to perform better is really annoying and frustrating. So that is my number 3 pet peeve. Let's move on to number 4 pet peeve is misleading descriptions when it comes to perfume notes. Listen, if I'm buying a perfume that has a breakdown of vanilla and raspberry, I want to perceive vanilla and raspberry. Okay, tell me why I'm perceiving oak moss and musk, and that is not in the breakdown. Okay, you tend to see perfumes that have different, you know, top notes, middle notes, and base notes, and I understand that you can perceive these notes as at different times according to the dry down of the perfumes and whatnot. But I'm wearing a perfume throughout the day, and from morning to night, I'm not perceiving any notes that I'm seeing in the note breakdown of the perfume. Then why is it there? Please do not add Lily of the Valley and Tuberose in your note breakdown, and all I can perceive is straight up musk and vanilla.
What happened to the lily of the valley? Where is my tuberose?
Okay, misleading descriptions in perfumes can be annoying. Perfume brands, you need to stop it, okay? If you're putting a note breakdown in your perfumes, let us perceive that. Otherwise, take it out from the note breakdown. It's as simple as that. All right, next. Now, my next pet peeve is no sample availability of a said perfumes. So I want to try out a perfume that costs 200,000 naira and there is no sample for that perfume. I always preach sampling, and I'm very happy that Middle Eastern brands, at least Latafa that I'm aware of, does have started doing sample perfumes. You see 5 mls, 10 mls, especially with their new releases, you tend to see sample perfumes with this said releases. It's really annoying that I would want to try out a perfume that I'm blind buying and there is no sample perfumes to try out. So if I try out the sample perfumes and I don't like it, I'll be saving a lot of money not buying a full bottle. So imagine if there is no sample for that said perfume and I invested in 100 ml and I don't like the perfume. Really annoying, right? And I'm sure I'm not the only one that finds that annoying. Sample perfumes are a must. All right, let's go to the next. You see this next pet peeve, and I find that most Middle Eastern brands are guilty of doing this, which is really annoying. I don't understand what they're trying to achieve with this pet peeve of mine, and it's repackaging scam, guys. You see Latafa, they are guilty of this. Yeah, I'm calling them out. Yeah, tell me why Latafa would produce a perfume and name it Sheikh Al Shuyuk, and then produce another perfume and call it Hayati. Meanwhile, these two perfumes are the same. Different bottle, different packaging, same scent. Why? Why? Just create a new scent and release it. Why do you have to use exactly the same scent in two different packaging to try and scam us? Okay, it is really annoying. Okay, you guys need to stop it. Your packaging scams annoying. Stop it. Okay, stop it. Next, this next point is, I don't know if we're much that actually experienced this, but you see cloying scents. I tilt more towards oriental scents and woody scents, and if you're watching my channel for a while, you would know that I mention this quite a lot. Those are the kind of scents I gravitate towards, but I also wear floral scents, fruity scents, and gourmand scents as well. But you see those scents that are cloying, people that enjoy those kind of perfumes, they are unique beings. Cloying scents are just something I can't just wrap my head around. You know, you get a scent and the scents are headache inducing. Why would I want to put myself through such turmoil? Overly sweet scents are just a no-no for me, and that is just my own POV. Okay, they are just too sweet and eventually they become cloying. They become cloying and I cannot stand them. My decluttering video, if you have not seen that video, I'm going to link it for you to watch. I talked about some cloying scent that I had that made me declutter them. I just couldn't stand those kind of perfumes. Okay, cloying scents are a no-no for me. All right, they are one of my pet peeves that I cannot stand. Right, so let's move on to the next point. You see this next point here? You see this next point? I might have been guilty of this particular point because you see, with fragrance content creators, we can go overboard. If I'm being honest, yeah, we can't go overboard. And the pet peeve that I'm talking about is overhyped perfumes. There might be perfumes that I love so freaking much, and when I review those perfumes, I might go overboard with hyping these perfumes, and then someone else would go out and get that perfume and be like, what was this person talking about? I can't see anything that is awesome as she was saying in her video. I understand. I completely understand, and I've been guilty of that. In as much as I've been guilty of that, I have also been a victim of that. Okay, I have so many fragrance content creators here on YouTube that I watch, and I watch their reviews, and it also influences me to get some perfumes. Now, when that perfume is overhyped and it doesn't live up to the expectation, yeah, really annoying. Okay, an example of that would be, and I know you guys are going to crucify me for this, but you see Nebras. Yeah, Nebras Belatafa is overhyped, guys. I'm sorry. Someone had to say it, and I might as well be the one. I'm sorry, guys. Nebras is overhyped. Is it a good perfume? Yes. Does it smell good? Yes. Is it overhyped? Yes. Okay, Nebras is overhyped. Nebras to me is Choco Musk with a better performance. That is what Nebras is to me. It doesn't smell as hyped as it claims to smell. It just smells like Choco Musk to me, but with a better performance, better longevity. And that is it. And fragrance reviewers are guilty of this, okay? Yeah, so you see those overhyped perfumes, I tend to, I tend to roll my eyes a bit before committing to buying those perfumes, but we need to calm down with overhyping some perfumes, okay? Myself included, okay? This is notes to self, right? reduce it with overhyping perfumes. All right, guys. Next. All right, guys. So this next point of mine is another pet peeve that really icks me: reformulations. Please tell me why perfume brands, fragrance brands tend to reformulate perfumes. Did we ask you to reformulate them? Did we send you guys any message to reformulate them? Did we ever complain that the formulation of the original scent was not good enough? Why are you guys now reformulating these perfumes? And this usually happens with perfumes that tend to gain popularity over time. For example, Amar's Club de Nuit Intense Man. That perfume, when it came out, was on steroids. Okay, you will literally smell the perfume like 2 blocks away if someone was putting on that perfume. It was on steroids, and over the years, because of the popularity of the scent, Amar decided to reformulate it, and now the performance is not as good as it was when it initially came out. Why? Why? We didn't ask you guys to do that. Literally feed off on the popularity of those perfumes, and it literally becomes a detriment to we the end users. Please, brands, stop reformulating perfumes that we did not ask you to. All right, if you're going to reformulate it to be better than what it actually was, and not reducing the performance or removing a note that we did not ask you to remove. Okay, I would completely understand when you're reformulating a perfume that people have complained about a certain note in the perfume, or that the performance isn't good, and you're reformulating it to make it better. But when you tend to reformulate it and it's now worse than what we actually loved, don't do that. Okay, do not do that. Reformulate the perfumes to make it better and not the opposite. Thank you. And my last point for today is scent restrictions. This is actually funny because I'm an oversprayer, and I know being an oversprayer can actually be a pet peeve to some people. If that is your pet peeve regarding perfumes, you're going to have to avoid me. Yeah, and when you go to events or places that has scent restrictions, it can be really annoying. I know this doesn't happen as much in Nigeria, which I'm happy about. Okay, imagine having a lot of perfumes and you can't use those perfumes because of scent restrictions. I don't know what I'll do, but
I will spray my perfumes though, and you guys would.
if you want to sanction me, you sanction me, but I will sure spray my perfumes. That's what I know. It has its pros and cons, because in a place where there are no restrictions, people tend to always go overboard. Nigerian men and oud. You see people wearing oud when the sun is blazing. Imagine being in that kind of environment. I always preach that you should wear whatever you want to wear any time of the day, with notwithstanding the weather and whatnot. But I mean, we have to be considerate. But please don't tell me that I cannot wear my perfumes. Okay, I would wear my perfumes and choke you out. I'm sorry. I would choke you out, because if I don't choke you out, who will? Right? And yeah, guys, that is my pet peeves regarding perfumes. I mean, there are a lot more, but I just decided to restrict it to just this 10. Okay, I'm sure there are a lot of people that can actually resonate with these said pet peeves, so let me know in the comment section what your pet peeves regarding perfumes are, and we'll continue the conversation from them. Do like this video if you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching and supporting, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.